What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. Today, it is time for Week 26 Premier League predictions. The title race is heating up as always, and the relegation battle is neck and neck. So please do leave your comments with your predictions down below and drop a like on this video, subscribe so you don't miss any more. And let's get started. We just came off the back of the FA Cup treble. We had Brighton to win, Leicester and Blackburn both teams to score. I sensed an upset there, and Man City halftime full-time. And shout out to the member who took a bunch of tips from the members only post to create their own winning ACCA. The only tip out of all those that I didn't include in my post was Juventus to win. I kept it with the English leagues mostly for that post, but Brighton to win, Leicester, Blackburn both teams to score, Man City halftime full-time in the FA Cup treble, and some of the English league tips with Coventry double chance, it ended 0-0, Portsmouth and Bolton both teams to score, and Northampton not to lose. Odds of 30.16. Congratulations, Stick Flow. And massive shout out to the 10 new members that have joined since the last video. Jean-Luc Racunda, D. Lozo, Guitato, SK Soria, Badel Shrestha, Limit, Aik Akut, Sansa, Richard Christie, and Jamil Gachara. If you want to join the members and support the channel, you can click the join button down below or the first link in the description. Now you join me back on Super Brew, and I am very, very excited for the predictions and tips for this video today. There's some excellent fixtures, kicking it off with Manchester City up against Newcastle. Newcastle, so many draws. They took an L against Liverpool. I'm going to go for a Manchester City win, of course. I think Newcastle will be quite resolute. It could be 3-0. I'm going for a 2-0 win to Manchester City, and my tip is Man City to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.05. It's a massive increase from the 1.41 odds you see here. And Newcastle have been very strong defensively. You look at these results, 2-0 to Liverpool, even with 10 men, and you just look at all these, they're all low scoring. So I think Man City will be able to get the job done. I'm going to go 2-0. 4-1, we correctly predicted Man City to beat Bournemouth 4-1 exactly. That was low scoring and unexpected. 3-1, again, expected, given to the members. Aston Villa, again, 3-1, perfect prediction, given to the members. But I think Newcastle are more strong in defence, so I'm going to go for the 2-0. After that, Arsenal up against Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to the Gunners at home. They're still yet to play Everton, so I don't know how that went. I'm hoping Arsenal get a win. I'm thinking 2-0, 2-1, that sort of thing. But this is the banker game. This is the game that every team in the Premier League expects to win when they play Bournemouth at their home ground, as in like your own home ground, not Bournemouth's home ground. That can be quite tricky. But when you're at home and Bournemouth are travelling to your ground, you expect to win. Arsenal was no different. I'm going to go 3-0. My tip is Arsenal halftime full-time at 1.72, which is higher odds, I believe, than the Arsenal to cover a -1 handicap. I think Arsenal, they come out guns blazing, get a goal at least in the first half, and I don't see Bournemouth scoring. Arsenal, actually, they conceded a 0.01 XG against Leicester, which is absolutely incredible. Phenomenal defensive effort from Arsenal there, from a team like Leicester, who typically scores quite a lot of goals. So I'm going to go halftime full-time. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. I'm going to shade it to Aston Villa. I'm going to go 2-1. Palace struggling to get wins on the board, as you can see, eking out draws. But I think Aston Villa are going to get the win and get the revenge for the last time they played when Palace ended up winning 3-1. My tip is actually both teams to score at 1.95. You could get Villa to win at similar odds if you do think they are going to fire and get the win, which they very well could after an impressive win at Goodison Park. So you could go both teams to score, or you could go Villa to win at the same odds. Pick your poison. After this, it's Brighton up against West Ham. West Ham, a dominant 4-0 win against Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win to Brighton. Difficult to look past Brighton with their form recently. They just won in the FA Cup, of course. I just think Brighton are going to shade West Ham here. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 win. My tip is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 2.3. Brighton score, yes. West Ham, they score. You don't win 4-0 and then draw a blank the next game. It just doesn't happen. It's going to be high scoring. Brighton, I'm going to go for them to win this game. Chelsea up against Leeds. I found this one really difficult. I initially went 2-1. I think Leeds are playing decent but struggling to get the results. You know, they're starting to play a bit better, but Chelsea have got to win this game. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 because 2-1's hard. It's hard to predict 2-1 when Chelsea are barely scoring goals. No goals, no goals, one goal, no goals, no goals, one goal, one goal. They haven't scored 2 goals in forever, so it's hard to predict them to do it again. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Chelsea. My tip is Chelsea to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.1. If they do win, it's not going to be 3-1, 4-0, something crazy. So it goes from 1.6 to 2.1. I think that's a nice little increase. After that, Wolves up against Tottenham. Tottenham getting a really good win against Chelsea, putting them into the top 4. Newcastle with 2 games in hand to potentially get back into the top 4 if they win both their games. but one of them is Man City. I don't see it happening. So Tottenham in the top 4. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Spurs. Harry Kane, second half. Simple as that. Draw halftime, Spurs full-time you could look at, but my tip is Tottenham to win at these odds. I don't see any need in going past these odds. I think it's very good. Tottenham could Spurs it up, but I think they're going to get the win here. After that, Southampton up against Leicester City. Very difficult to predict. Both teams in a poor run of form. Southampton, typically, you'd expect them to get a goal at St. Mary's, especially against Leicester. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Quite difficult, but my tip is both teams to score at 1.8. Leicester games typically are high scoring. Obviously, Arsenal very good defensively there, but we got 3-0 there, 4-1 there, 4-2 there, 2-2 there, 2-0 there. Yeah, there's goals in Leicester games here, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. After this, Nottingham Forest against Everton. Don't do this very often, but Forest, they're defensively solid at home. I think this is where they're going to get most of their points. 0-0 for me. My tip is under 2.5 goals at 1.53. You could look at draw, 2.97. Everton, the better team. Forest, better form. And at home, could cancel each other out. The draw is definitely a shout there. And after that, Liverpool, Man United at Anfield. It's a bit boring. 1-1 draw. It's difficult to separate the two teams. Man United in better form. Man United looking better overall. Liverpool at Anfield. Tricky. I'm just going to sit on the fence and go for a 1-1 draw. Tip being both teams to score at 1.53. All right, we have Brentford Fulham. I don't know if this is like a replay fixture or something. Maybe I didn't go this far down. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Brentford. Brentford at home, looking good. Brentford currently in 9th. Fulham, yes, they are in 6th. And I mean, if they win, they leapfrog Newcastle. But, you know, there's a lot of games to be played here. Fulham are having an excellent season. The goals they've been scoring lately, some of them have been absolutely cracking. The FA Cup last week against Wolves, some really nice goals. I do think Fulham can score, but I'm just going to shade it to Brentford as the home team. I'm going to go both teams to score at 1.75, however, just because I'm not super confident on the result, because Fulham have been doing well lately. It's been a while since they lost. They lost to Tottenham and they lost to Newcastle, both teams above them in the league. But other than that, they are smashing it. So difficult, but something's telling me Brentford are going to get a win. Perhaps Ivan Toney to score again. So here's a confirmation of my picks. Man City to win fairly comfortably. Arsenal to win comprehensively. Villa to take a win against Palace. Brighton to beat West Ham. Basically favouring a lot of the home teams here. And when there is a slight imbalance, it kind of equals out to a draw. Chelsea to finally get a win against Leeds. Tottenham to get the job done against Wolves. Southampton, Leicester, I find that one very difficult to call. Same with Forest, Everton. Same with Liverpool, Man United. And to be honest, same with Brentford, Fulham. Difficult games to predict, which is why for these last 4 games here, I've gone to some sort of goal market. Both teams are scoring these 3 and unders in that because I'm struggling to predict a result in these fixtures. So that is going to do it for the Week 26 Premier League predictions. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. There'll be Champions League coming up on Monday. But that is going to do it from me for now, and I'll see you in that next video very soon.